And we're live. Welcome everyone to the Crypto Herd. Also, welcome to everyone that is watching this on replay. And guys, there's a lot to cover in this AMA because Undead Blocks, two main events are coming for this Web3 game, for this top zombie survival shooter on Immutable X. And one of them is the multiplayer playtest, which should arrive in the next weeks for people like content creators. And the next big event, which is even bigger than the first one, is the full game release where everyone's going to be able to play with their friends and where NFT holders are going to start to earn every day. Okay, and in order to talk about the future of this zombie survival Web3 game, we brought you once again the Zombie Slayer, Grant Haseley. How are
Bruno.
you, Grant? Nice to have you on board, man.
Bruno, your intros are pretty epic now. I think I can sense the excitement. I don't know if Halloween is in the air. You know, love might be in the air. Who knows? But thanks for having me again. Happy to answer all your guys' questions, and definitely an exciting time for us. So looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, thanks. I've been working a lot on these intros, so I'm glad you like them. And maybe it's because of the upcoming 15K prize pool tournament for Undead Blocks. Maybe that's why I'm so excited.
Oh boy, I mean, it's tournament time again, and now we have a brand new game mode to show off, where it's a variation of gun game where your gun's actually going to switch every 30 seconds. Should level the playing field more in terms of making it more random to get a high score. Obviously, you still need to kill zombies and be very good at the game, but now that your weapon is going to be changing every 30 seconds, it should level the playing field. And that's what I'm most excited about. Is the biggest piece of feedback we had was, you know, it got a little bit robotic, just continuing to kill zombies for 10 minutes with the same weapon. So now we're going to keep people on their toes, and I think it's really going to help bring in more players. We're shooting for 10,000 this time. If we get to 10,000, we're giving away NFTs. We're giving away Undead token. I'm actually jumping into Lake Ontario, which is one of the great lakes here in the United States. So we're hoping for 10K. My birthday's also on Monday too, on Halloween. So that would be the best birthday gift they could ever receive.
Damn, Grant, I think I'm going to ask my grandma to play just so that I increase the odds of you jumping into that lake.
Oh yeah, if you guys got a friend, ex-wife, Bruno, I know you got a lot of lovers around, hit them all up. You know, you guys are swiping on Tinder or Hinge this weekend, or if you're at a Halloween party, say, hey, come on, check out this new game. So definitely excited to see how many we get. You know, there's another tournament going on. It's the EV.io tournament. And they're doing a similar format to us. So we're going to see how many they get and how many we get. And it's just going to be exciting to have more games that are offering, you know, community members and players the ability to earn. That's why we're here, right? Is you guys want to be able to make money, you know, playing a video game. And I think it's really going to, these tournaments are just the first step in that. You know, obviously it comes with our multiplayer release, and we have some updates to share on multiplayer as well. So really excited to get into all of it today.
That's great. So yeah, I've tried Div.io. I think it's a great game. So are they also doing like sponsored tournaments like you?
Yeah, they have a fractal tournament going on this weekend, and it really is. It's awesome to see. You know, a lot of people are mimicking. Meta Ops did the similar thing a couple months ago, where they took our model, and it really just shows that we are the industry leader here. Where, you know, people are taking our model and replicating it in their own game, which is awesome to see. It's something that, you know, we want to share the love, and we want people to earn. And if, you know, we're trailblazing and setting the tone with Immutable X tournament and people following our footsteps, it's what we want to see. So definitely excited for that. But once we put multiplayer in, once there's that wave-based survival, I think we're going to be the top Web3 game, FPS game on the planet that you can currently play, at least for the first 6 months. You know, there are a lot of games coming out next year, but nothing really you can play and earn daily anymore. I think that's really what we want to offer. We want people to be able to come in and earn, whether it's, you know, 50 cents, $1, maybe they come in one day and earn 10. You know, we want to make it more random. We want there to be like a sense of, I guess, keeping people on their toes. Like you come on and you know what you're gonna earn today. I think people like that vibe. I mean, we're working in crypto, right? The crypto is kind of a casino, and we're seeing a little bit of a mini pump this week, and I think it's kind of lifted spirits a little bit. So we're excited to share more updates on where we're at and what the vision is, and happy to answer any community questions you guys have as well.
Yeah, it's double the simulation. I mean, you come for the game to have fun, and there's also the second simulation, which is the possibility to earn. So, are you, Grant, reviving the play to earn vibe?
Well, yeah,
Scene?
I think we're the industry leader in terms of showing people that you can earn. I think since the last time we've spoken, we've seen a massive shift to games that say they're play to own. I don't necessarily agree with that concept. I think that if people all want to play to own something, you're going to dilute the item that you're owning. And I think from our perspective, that you can offer play to earn. You just have to do it sustainably. And so many people come to our community and they ask me, like, what's my ROI? How much can I earn a day? And we're just not revealing that information at this time because it's something that we need to look at the data and we need to say, okay, how many people are playing this game? How many people are buying free to play cosmetics? What's our token look like? What's our token strategy? Because the Undead token is going to become deflationary very soon, where we're acting some of the unlocks with people buying the loot coffins or the battle pass or other cosmetics in our game that they want to collect. So we need to look at the data. The worst thing that we could do right now is guarantee a specific amount of earnings because that sets expectations. And if we're unable to meet those expectations, people get very upset. We would rather keep it open-ended. But I want you guys to know we're quadrupling down on play to earn. For those 6,000 weapon NFTs, we want you guys to have the ability to earn actual money every day, not an asset, not an NFT that you have to sell to somebody else. Physical gold Z-Bucks. They're not physical, right? It's digital, but that's how we see it. And it's going to take some time to get it right, but that's why by being early, by being one of the first ones, and really the only ones now that are moving to this model, I think we're going to have a really unique opportunity to bring in players en masse to this ecosystem.
Yeah, it's actually one of the things that caught my eye with Undead Blocks is the atypical tokenomics. So back then, everyone was just releasing Web3 games where we have these NFTs that you can breed, and we have these dual token ecosystem. And then after a while, it's like there's a lot of inflation because the demand is not matching the supply, and people start to lose money. So back then, it was a bit like either you get early or you're going to get burned. So, but you guys came up with something completely new, and that's one of the things that actually caught my eye with Undead Blocks.
We have to. You have to innovate, and I'm looking at a lot of games now that don't really have a strategy. They want to call themselves as Web3. They mint NFTs, but what exactly is their strategy for earning? I don't see a lot of it. Now, things are changing every single week in crypto. And, I get a lot of, there's been some community chatter about how we are changing the model, and everything that had launched, pretty much almost every project that launched at the same time of us has either given up, they rug the project, or they're not offering earning. They're not offering you the ability to earn. And I think what we're doing is so unique in that perspective. Look at something like the Reddit avatars where, they were low barrier to entry, the mass adoption, and now they're really kind of popping off. We want the same approach for our loot coffins, where people can buy these loot coffins very cheaply, whether that's in Undead or Gold Z-Bucks or Fiat. We're working with MasterCard for a direct on-ramp solution, which is really cool. And we want to use that revenue to pay back players. It's it's basically just running a capitalistic model in our economy. Instead of just creating a currency out of scratch and watching it go to zero as people click the mouse to earn, it's now an actual game. We've gamified the game itself, where you don't know how much you're going to earn every single day. You have to continue playing, and we want to increase the engagement. If we increase engagement, it keeps retention high, and that's good for advertisers, good for sponsors. You guys are seeing this $15,000 tournament sponsored by Immutable X this weekend. They believe in our platform. We're one of the top games on their tech stack, and I think that reflects that. We're going to be at NFT London. I'm going to be on the IMX gaming panel. We're going to be in the gaming lounge. So if any of you guys are in Europe and heading to NFT London, come hang out in the IMX gaming lounge. It's really going to help propel us to bring in these players in mass, and this is really just the start.
Yeah, for sure. Damn, it's exciting actually. So Immutable X is the second time they're sponsoring Undead Blocks, right? There was already a tournament sponsored by Immutable X. And
there was a tournament. One. Yeah, this is the second one, and this is not going to be the only one. There will be more, and we're excited because we want people to get in the routine of, okay, I want to play in these tournaments every single month. I think the monthly cadence is really good for us. We did the September tournament series that was every weekend. I like the monthly cadence. It gives our developers time to, put in new features, and they're not just like, scrambling from one tournament to the next. We've made a lot of progress on multiplayer, and you're going to see in our next build new footage of new weapons: the crossbow, M1A1, the revolver. The revolver is actually in this tournament for the IMX tournament. It's a new pistol that we have. So we have more weapons coming in, and you guys are going to start seeing multiplayer footage for the next week in terms of when we're going to start announcing who is going to be participating. I believe we're going to announce some of the participants next weekend. It might be the weekend after, because I'm going to be in NFT London next weekend, so it'll be pretty busy. But after that, you might see an announcement in terms of the people that are starting to get access to multiplayer beta. And we're also announcing our Survivor Streamers program this week. So we've chosen 30 of our top community members to participate in the Survivor Streamer program. They're going to stream Undead Blocks for us, whether it's once a week, once a day, and they're going to earn loot coffins for their work, and they're going to get a role in Discord. They're going to be a Survivor streamer, so expect that release. That might even come as soon as this afternoon, but it should be before the end of the week as well.
I like that, the Survivor streamer. Okay, that sounds interesting. Yeah,
Bruno, you will be a Survivor streamer. I can announce it here. You will be a Survivor streamer for us. So
you got it. I'll be a Survivor streamer.
I don't think you're on the list on the graphic, but you're definitely a Survivor streamer. So
okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Count on me. I've been streaming Undead Blocks before. I think it's a really fun game.
I mean, look at this footage. Sure. Look at you playing here with the pistol. You're just locked in on the face too. No emotion, no reaction, just locked in.
A cold blood killer right there.
And when we put the wave-based survival in, this is all going to change, right? Like, we're cognizant of the fact that nobody really just wants to play it around 5 and quit. But when there's a standing world record, somebody gets to level 85 and they keep going, and you're able to squad up with your friends, that's really when the dichotomy of this entire game is going to change. We're seeing a lot of interest from Web2 content creators to play this game, the zombie fans. You guys can look up FaZe Blaze. He's one that we've spoken to. His content used to get hundreds of thousands of views for Call of Duty Zombies. We've been in touch with Noah J, one of the top zombie streamers of the world, and these guys are open to it. They love making zombies content. The game looks really good, and we found a winner here in terms of a niche market. There's going to be dozens of battle royales coming out, hundreds of mobile games, and there's not going to be many FPS games that really focus on a storyline or lore. It's really exciting to see, and we just need to continue making progress. We have dealt with some issues in Ukraine. There has been some electrical outages, and some of our developers have been pushed back a little bit just because they physically can't charge their working machines or their phones. But it's not something that is a massive issue. We're still on pace for a Q4 delivery of the full game. Really, most of our features are in a good spot. It's just the multiplayer optimization. Getting the optimization for single player took us a long time. Multiplayer is also taking us a decent amount of time, but you guys are going to start seeing footage soon, and you guys will be able to play it fairly soon. And once really multiplayer is in, we're going to be ready to roll.
Yeah, for sure. So when do you think multiplayer is going to be available for playtesters or content creators?
Well, we're going to start announcing participants in the next 2 weeks. I'd say within maybe a couple of weeks after that. So give us another 3 to 4 weeks, and then we want people to start playing the beta with a 2 or 3 or 4 week period, and then we're just going to go live. It's not something where we're going to say, okay, we're going to open multiplayer to 100 people, and then 200, and then 400. We want to basically test it out and then shoot the game out. So if we get good feedback from the first 100 people that multiplayer is working and the beta is functional, we're going to go live with the game. It's a little different than the last time we ran a beta program. We onboard people 10 a week. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to do a blast of 100 and then a blast to everybody. Okay, makes sense. So guys, if you want to try out Undead Blocks, if you didn't, definitely give it a check to the links in the description. Next weekend, you're going to be able to play, to earn, you're going to be able to participate in their upcoming tournament and earn gold Z-Bucks, which will allow you to get crypto if you actually trade gold Z-Bucks by, how do you say, trade, not the best word, if you actually... Swap, exactly, that's the word I was looking for. If you actually swap gold Z-Bucks by crypto, so you can actually get gold Z-Bucks in the next upcoming tournament, which is going to be next weekend. So I'll link this
in
weekend.
The description. Yes,
Bruno, this weekend, bro. Halloween's this weekend. It's spooky season. So yeah,
Oh,
if you
that's
guys,
true. That's true.
yeah. It starts on Friday. So if you guys want to participate, all you need is an email and a password. You do, and as we see, Bruno just gets wrecked here in round 3. All you need is an email and a password. You do not need a crypto wallet to participate. I know most of you are here because Bruno does crypto content, so you probably have a crypto wallet. But if you don't want to link it, you don't even have to. All you have to do is download the game, play with an email and a password, and then once you earn those gold Z-Bucks, you can swap for Ethereum, BNB, BUSD, BNB, any crypto of your choice that we have in our treasury. And that's really unique because no one else is doing that from a tournament's perspective. And we pay out people within 20 minutes. The average esports tournament, you get paid out 3 to 6 months after it happens. This is something that's free to play and earn, and it's going to happen very quickly after the tournament. So really excited about that as well.
Yeah, and I think like just allowing email and password for people to log in, that's really good to facilitate the integration of Web2 players into a Web3 game like Undead Blocks. So I think that was really wise. So one question I have, Grant, is like you mentioned that in the future, in one of our last AMAs, non-NFT holders are going to be able to play with NFT holders, right? There's going to be like a multiplayer game mode, which is, I guess, what we're going to test in the next weeks or something.
So here's how the daily earning game mode is going to be structured. It's something you're going to be able to play solo or with friends, right? It's something that if there aren't a lot of people, because think about it, there's only going to be potentially 6,000 weapon NFT holders. We don't want to just make it a multiplayer game because if there's nobody online, well, then you can't earn. So you can play it by yourself if you want to. But it's something where you're going to be able to earn every single match, and the earning will take place in the match. It will be using the blood box concept in a very similar way where you're going to get your power-ups, your power downs, but then you might get a gold Z-Bucks drop, and they'll be very lucky to get one. And whoever opens the box is basically going to get the funds. And so it's always going to be a competition of, okay, we have to grab these boxes because that's what's going to earn. There's going to be many different ways we structure this, right? There could be something where if you're playing with friends, it's just split, like everyone earns. If you're playing by yourself, obviously you get all of the earnings. So it really just depends on what the community is going to want, and it's going to take some time to tweak it in terms of what the optimal setting is. But we don't know what that is until people actually physically try and earn and play the game and earn. Like, do we want to have a mechanism where if Bruno shoots a zombie and a box appears, but I don't know, I go pick it up, that's technically not fair to Bruno because he did the work of killing that zombie. So it's something we want to make it competitive, and we're going to throw the spaghetti at the wall. We're going to see what sticks, what people like, what people don't like. But what I do know is you guys are going to be able to earn every single day, and I think that's going to be the most exciting portion of the ecosystem, is that daily earning component.
Okay, but one question I have is like, you're going to mix holders with non-holders, and basically NFTs are weapons, right? So they're the weapons you're going to play with in this game mode, right?
So in that game mode, it'll be weapon NFT holder only. There will be people that can play without one, but people can squat up without NFTs and play, and they can grind for these green Z-Bucks, which is like our normal asset upgrading currency, and then you can use that over like a month's. Like, a lot of people ask, like, how long is it going to take to play for free to earn a loot coffin? Like, we're going to be basically selling the loot coffins for $10.99. I'd say it'd probably take you 2 weeks of grinding to get a $10.99 loot coffin if you want to play for free. But that avenue is there, right? We want people to come in and play for free in a sort of play to own model. But the loot coffins that they're earning are purely cosmetic. It's not a guarantee for daily earning. Now they can take what they earn and sell it on a secondary market, just like Counter-Strike does. Counter-Strike does the same exact thing.
The skins, right?
You can play Counter-Strike for free and earn a loot crate and sell it. That's where a lot of these community members, they come in, they say people shouldn't be able to earn for free in this game. They're wrong, because one of the biggest games in the world, Counter-Strike, literally takes that approach where you can play the game for free, earn a loot coffin, and then sell the coffin on a secondary marketplace. We're just mimicking and replicating the exact same model because it works. It will bring people in the game, and they will just want to play for fun because they have an opportunity, they have an avenue to go for these loot coffins. But it's not going to be a main driver of our ecosystem. The main driver of our ecosystem is get people in the game, get them addicted to the game, and then have them buy a loot coffin for $10.99 or maybe $7.99 if they use Undead token. Now they're using the Undead token, and those tokens are burned. It's a deflationary mechanism. So every time someone buys a loot coffin for $7.99, it's just it's a decrease in supply as we counteract the increase in supply through staking or token unlocks. It's the most healthy ecosystem we could design, and in all the way it works is we need players. We need people to play the game. We don't need people to physically spend. We need people to play it, because if they play it, the spending will come. And that's where my job is, physically bringing as many people to play the game as possible. Our weapon NFT holders, there's going to be 6,000 of them, but we need at least 500,000 daily active players in 6 months. I think we can get there. It's a very aggressive and ambitious target, but I think we're the top Web3 game on the planet. And if more and more games continue coming out, people will eventually say, why am I playing this game that's whack when I go play Undead Blocks?
Okay, that's great for sure. That's really ambitious. 500,000 active daily players.
It is ambitious, right? It's something that
but not impossible.
It's not impossible, but we have to shoot for the stars here. Like, if we get to 50,000 daily active players, we are the largest Web3 game, and it's not even close. EV.io is going to tell you they have 850,000 monthly active users. They're lying to you. Like, the industry isn't that big, but we're gambling and we're banking on the fact that people in a downturn macroeconomic environment are going to turn to gaming, and they're going to be Googling, how do I play a video game for money? And we're going to be the top option on that algorithm because we're offering daily earning to people for our weapon NFT holders and the ability to grind for loot coffins in our free to play. We will be the top option for people that come in, they say, how do I want to play something and earn money? Now, we're not just a decentralized yield farmer because we have a storyline, we have lore, we have characters, and I think there will be people that want to purchase free-to-play cosmetics because they have the ability, the upside to unlock a super rare skin that could potentially sell for big money on a secondary marketplace. It's exactly what Reddit is doing right now. Look at some of those Reddit avatars where people are spending thousands of dollars on those. You know, that collection is really popping off, and that really is the goal here. The goal is, my goal is not how do we continue making 2,500 people happy. My goal is, how do I get to 200,000, 500,000 players and then make the 2,500 people that have a Genesis pack extremely happy? We want to incentivize them to be going out as well and inviting their friends, and those friends invite their friends. That's how you really explode some of these games, is get your friends to play it. It's what's the cool new game? We really want that to be Undead Blocks from a Web3 perspective, eventually moving into just Web 2 and mobile gaming. We want to go into mobile because zombie mobile games are huge. Like Dead Trigger is over 57 million downloads, right? So if we can launch a mobile game and we're doing the microtransaction model, which we know works, why can't we use that revenue to continue paying out our weapon NFT holders and continue stabilizing our token in a bear market? That's exactly where we want to be and where we want to live.
Yeah, for sure. Mobile is huge. It's huge, especially in Asia. I think people in the beginning, they thought about mobile games, and yeah, many people said that it wouldn't succeed. I mean, who would want to play games on their mobile back in the day? But now it became huge. I think it's maybe even a bigger market than computer games, perhaps. No?
It is. It's not going to be even close in 3 years. I mean, Bruno, this game looks really good. Like, we all just watched the footage of you playing, and you have a really high-end PC, right? I have a high-end PC, like a lot of PC gamers do. But if you want millions of people to play your game, you have to put it on their phone, because not everyone's going to say, I'm going to spend $2,000 on a gaming rig. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Like, you know, Southeast of Asia, if you actually go to Southeast of Asia, where we have like a huge player base, where playing games is like the trend there. Almost no person has a computer. Most of these people, they just have like a whole Android phone and that's it. So it's really wise to go that way.
Yeah. And I think those people are going to be more apt to buy or grind for a loot coffin at $5.99, $10.99 than buying a $2,000 NFT. They're not going to do it. Like if they actually really enjoy the game, I think they're going to spend that money. We have to bring in people that want to play for the love of the game. And that's how mobile gaming works. The top 5% pay for the 95% that are playing for free. It's exactly how it works. We have to mimic that model. We have to take that approach. Here's the good news. The good news is we already have an awesome community. We have over 65,000 Wagyu accounts. We had 6,200 people playing our last tournament. We're aiming for 10,000 this tournament. We might come up a little short, but I know it's an ambitious goal. That's where we want to be. This is
so you can jump into the lake.
So I can jump in the lake. This is without multiplayer, and this is without wave-based survival. So now you add those two layers on, and you say, okay, how many people are we going to get to play this game with wave-based survival and multiplayer? I think we can push. I think we can push 15, 20,000 daily active players. I really do, especially with when daily earning goes live and people are able to grind for loot coffins and the weapon NFT holders are playing for actual gold Z-Bucks. And then, okay, so now we're at, I want to get to 25. Boom, Undead Mobile. Now we have 25,000 people that already have a phone, that have already been playing our franchise, that are excited to play on their phone. So it's not like you're coming into the app stores and saying, okay, this is a new app. What am I going to do here? Like, it's physically, we have a community. It's been built. This has always been the plan, is build through PC and Mac and then launch the mobile game, because the mobile game is going to bring us some serious noise. And that's where we can really explode some of the microtransaction revenue model that we want to see to continue juicing up those prize pools every single day for the people that hold a weapon NFT.
Yeah, for sure. I think especially multiplayer is going to be huge. I mean, just look into traditional gaming, like Left 4 Dead was huge, COD Zombies was huge, and these games had no NFTs. You couldn't earn anything no matter how much time you would spend playing, and they were already huge. Now, if you had this earning layer, and I also think that Undead Blocks has a way better graphics and gameplay than, for example, Left 4 Dead. If you add these on top of Team Zombie Survival Shooter, then you have the recipe for success, for sure, man.
And the thing is right. We don't need to explode right away. Here's the thing, Bruno, is we're in crypto, right? Everybody that holds Undead, everybody that holds a weapon NFT, they want it to moon, right? They want it to go up. The weapon NFT holders are pretty happy today because we're backed by ETH and Ethereum is popping off, which is great. In terms of a token, not a lot of volume out there. Our job is to get listed on more exchanges. We have a full US legal opinion that our token is a utility token, not a security. It's going to help us big time when we get on some of these exchanges. But a lot of exchanges are in wait and see mode. And we have been talking to more exchanges. That's also, we want to get listed on more exchanges, the big ones. The Binance, Coinbase, FTX, Wolbies of the world. Like, we want to get on those exchanges. So we just have to continue operating a Web2 business. These exchanges are watching all of these games and they're observing and they're seeing who's running a business and who's running a token. And everything we've done right now is structuring ourselves up for the next decade to run an actual Web3 business or Web2 business in Web3. That's why the relationship with IMX is the most important thing we could have done. And I want to emphasize that. And we're almost done in terms of bridging over the current assets, in terms of having that option. Now, you don't have to bridge your weapon NFT if you don't want to, but you can. And all of our cosmetic skin NFTs will be on IMX. That's why it's huge, because you're getting the backing of, I think, the largest L2. Them and Polygon are probably top two, right? You're getting the backing and support of such a large group. Like, we are a micro cap. What's our market cap right now, Bruno? Our market cap is $7.5 million. We're getting backed by $1 billion market cap company. It's something that they're not partnering with a lot of games. They partner with Illuvium, another $1 billion market cap company. They don't have a lot of games with tokens, and so we are so much younger than a lot of these other groups. But we do have a trading token. And this is obviously not financial advice. Do your own research, but there's a lot of room for us to run here. We haven't even launched the full game. When the game is live and people see that they're able to earn every single day, people are going to stake to mint to want to get a weapon. They're going to use the Undead token to do that. They're going to acquire Undead token to buy a loot coffin because there's going to be a big discount to do so instead of paying in fiat. They're going to acquire Undead token to get the battle pass because that's the only way we're going to offer the battle pass. So now you can kind of see what the strategy is. It's just going to take some time, and we don't want to rush things. Like, we are pushing as hard as we can to bring this game to you guys, We're still on pace for a Q4 delivery. I know that's about 8 weeks away, and I think we're in a good spot. But that's where we need to get to, is giving the token as much utility as we can, getting listed on more exchanges, but operating in an ever increasing regulatory environment as well. That's why we're not doing airdrops. You know, these regulators in the United States are very anti-airdrop. They look at airdrops and they say, okay, you do an airdrop, you're a security. You're basically offering a dividend. So we're not doing that. You know, a lot of people have asked for something like that. It's not something we're willing to do right now. So we're playing everything by the book. We're playing it slow, cool, calm, and calculated. And our time to come, this is not financial advice, but our time will come to shine. And I think we're going to be, when the market heats up, and maybe you're even seeing flickers of that this week, we want to be right there at the top in terms of forefront, in terms of GameFi. We really do.
Okay, that's great. Personally, I'm super bullish on Undead Blocks. I actually own some of the NFTs, and I'm really hyped about December for that full game release, Brent. But one thing where I'm just a bit hesitant, and I wanted to comment on that, is when it comes to the Undead tokens. I've been talking about this a lot, but one thing that's making me just a bit hesitant, and maybe to other investors or players in the space, is the fact that Undead has like a max supply of 500 million, and only 15 million are currently circulating. So that's like what, 3%, 5% of the total supply. Should Undead holders be worried about this huge gap?
Well, I will say we've put a moratorium right now on increasing the supply in this market. It's not something that we could be increasing every quarter, and we haven't done so, and we're not anticipating doing so right now. It's not concurrent to the market conditions to do so. But that's where we're talking about the deflationary aspect of the token. Let's say we sell 50,000 loot coffins at $10 a piece. Well, we just did $500,000 in Undead token. It gets burned, right? That's why we have to get to 500,000 players, because if everyone buys one loot coffin, that's $5 million in buys, and those are all burned. So that's 1% of the supply that gets burned. That's obviously a very ambitious goal, 500,000 players. But having that deflationary mechanism counteracting the supply unlocks is everything. And that's what a lot of groups don't get, and they don't understand. They don't put a deflationary mechanism in. I don't even believe Illuvium has a deflationary mechanism. You're seeing that token that went from over $1,600 to now, what is it, $70? Like, it's something that
ELV, damn.
Yeah, I mean, you could Google it right now live. I'm curious.
You mean ELV? I can, for sure.
Yeah, type it in and see what it looks like. In terms of what we need to do, we need to have that. So it is 70. I mean, look at that chart. It goes from 1,600 to 70. And they haven't launched their game either. And that's where we can get to that growth rate. If we have, I see it's doing well today, up 27%. That's an interesting poll by myself. We want to make things so incredibly simple. That's why we're rebranding the Undead token to Wagyu token and making it an ecosystem token. So if people buy Wagyu token, they'll have access to not just Undead Blocks, but Undead Mobile, as well as the subsequent shooters we're going to develop. We have the token.
That's interesting.
And it's something that it's very attractive to exchanges to go with ecosystem token. Why? Because exchanges want to minimize their risk, and they understand that most video games have a shelf life. And if we go studio token, we can make game after game after game under the Wagyu umbrella, and we can use that token to mint the cosmetics that people want to buy and have those tokens be burned. So every time we increase the supply, we're going to have a counteracting balance in terms of people buying the cosmetics because they like our games, they think they're fun, they're engaging, and that's really, I mean, somebody's got to pay. Somebody's got to pay, and the answer will be those people that love our game, love the ecosystem, that want to collect skins, character skins, eventually voice line NFTs, and that's where I think we're really excited to just have a proper economy. It's very hard to balance an economy, but by keeping it simple, rebranding the Undead token to Wagyu token, we should receive buy pressure in terms of a deflationary mechanism where people want to acquire our cosmetics, and that we can use that to help those token holders as well. Obviously not financial advice. Please do your own research, but that's the vision.
So the idea is like to have loot coffins and NFT means to kind of counter the possible increase of supply or dump from VCs, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, no, we hardly have any VCs on our cap table. If you pull up the white paper, you'll see we only have 4% of the entire supply was to tokenomics. Our 4% was to VCs in our tokenomics. So pull this up. This is a good exercise. Go over to the tokenomics page.
Okay.
Now look at the private sale, 4%, right?
Okay.
These other funds,
that's really small. That's really small.
It's very small. That's why we are able to do. Now I want you to go type in Shrapnel. Go on your browser and type in Shrapnel Crypto. Pull up their game. Again, awesome game. We like working with their group. Click on that, and then go to their white paper.
Okay, blockchain.
Yeah, go to blockchain, and then go to white paper.
White paper, here it is.
Yeah, go there. And go to, I think it's like slide 10. No, a little bit lower. Keep going. Keep going. Try slide 15.
Good.
I should know this, but
Here
we go.
Token.
Yeah, it's tokenomics. Okay, so go to tokenomics, and now you look at this. Okay, so now let's do the comparison. 20% to seed token holders for Shrapnel token. Okay.
Okay, that's a huge difference for
20% for seed, 7% for strategic, which is the next round after seed. Okay.
Okay.
That's 27%. Look at our token. We did 4%. Look at our team tokens, 20%. They're doing 27%. Okay. So now go back to, I know I'm sending you back and forth, but this is just an example of why we do not have a lot of buy pressure. You go back to ours and look at the vesting schedule. So it's ours is quarterly. Well, yeah, you can go there for them. Look at their vesting schedule for the 20%.
Every 6 months, they have linear.
After
unlock.
6 months, it's all unlock. Total unlock is 12 months. So after 12 months, their entire 27% of the supply will unlock.
Okay,
Cool.
that's
look at
concerning.
Ours.
That's concerning.
We have 4% for us that is on a quarterly vesting schedule for 4 years. Theirs is 27% that unlocks completely after 12 months. So this is just another example of why I think we are so much further ahead in terms of structuring a token that isn't going to go to zero. You're looking at that and saying, holy shit, Bruno, like you better like watch out, because those people, and those are all VCs that they want to earn, right? They want to earn. That's just concerning. And like I could give you a couple more examples of other projects that have the exact same structure. It all unlocks after a year, and you're like, damn, like what the fuck just happened here? So
then the retail investors, they get wrecked, especially during bear markets.
They get wrecked. Well, there's a lot of groups that haven't launched their token yet. They're scared of the bear market because they know their tokenomic structure isn't good enough to absorb it. And I'll be completely honest, our token's gone down. Like our token was at $1 for a while. Now we're at 60 cents.
Every token has been going down.
Yeah, it's not like we're at 10 cents, 15 cents. So
it's no big deal, really. I think you're you're a bit down. I think the token was launched at like $2 or something, and it's at 50 cents right now of $1.
It actually launched at 60, went all the way up to 2, then it went back to like $1.20, then $1, and now it's at 60.
Okay.
But it's staying pretty firm there, and that's really the key is how do we give it utility so that people want to buy it? So it's a no-brainer. It starts with the battle pass, and then it goes to buying cosmetics with the Undead token, and eventually getting listed on more exchanges. Those are 3 things that can help us bring in volume. That's what we want to do. And a lot of people in our community say, I don't talk about the token a lot. The reason why I don't is because I have to be very careful what I say. In terms of regulation, and we have to be very careful because we have had discussions with exchanges about getting listed, and they're watching every single move we make and every single move these other token groups make, because they don't want to partner with people that are selling something that feels like a security. So we're very careful about it. My job is every single day, Bruno, how do I bring in more utility for the token? Starts with the cosmetics, goes to Battle Pass, eventually it gets to more exchanges, and then more games. That's really how we're going to do it.
Okay, that's great. So right here we have the play to earn fund. So does this mean that people are going to be able to earn undead as well as gold Z-Bucks, or?
It's something we have there, but it's not something we're committed to, right? We can use it if we want to. For example, for Christmas, maybe we do a 10,000 undead token giveaway, right?
Okay,
That's where
a nice
that would come out. It's
that's
not
a nice
something
Christmas present.
Or we do like flash tournaments. Like we do a random announcement. Hey, tournament begins. It's only for 3 hours. You have 3 hours to clock your fastest time. We're giving away 5,000 undead tokens. Boom, go. Like keeping people on their edge, like keeping their notifications on. So yeah, it's something that we want to use, but it's not, hey, come click the mouse, you earn an undead token. Hey, come click the mouse, you earn no, it's not. It's there because we want to use it for giveaways. You could actually rebrand that as like a cool giveaways fund, or stuff like that. That's really the goal of it. And we've been doing some Twitter spaces too and giving away undead token and stuff like that is what we want to consider play to earn. Then you have staking, and I think staking is very healthy. It's something that is a large part of our ecosystem, but we will have to counteract the increase in supply from the staking that comes through the deflationary mechanism. But you're not just locking your tokens with our staking pools, you get the NFT too. So you can get the weapon NFT so you can earn daily when our full game goes live. Rewards. So yeah, it's great. If you go back to the other pools, I mean, ecosystem fund is something if we want to scale, like content creators. We've been speaking to content creators about making more content when the game goes fully live. We probably pay them out of the ecosystem fund. Team token, we've been under a cliff. We're not selling. I'm not selling shit. Initial liquidity, that's just like putting it up in Uniswap pool. And then private sales VCs. That's what we sold to the VCs. And that's what we're planning on offering. If we have to do another raise, we will. But we want to generate revenue. If I get players in the door, they'll buy cosmetics, then we're not reliant on VCs. We're not reliant on selling tokens. We can run this operation, this business through traditional freemium model, which has been working in Web 2.
Okay, so that's great. I love the transparency. Thank you for sharing all this information with us. So one thing I'm curious is, like, in Web 2, how did companies use it to fund their games? They used to sell like company shares, right? And in Web 3, people sell tokens and NFTs in order to get capital to develop the game. Is that it?
That's exactly it. We wouldn't be able to get this game off the ground without it. We did the $1.5 million in a seed round, and I was led by Animoca Brands. We had to. They weren't coming to us and saying, build a Web 2 mobile game. They want us to be pioneers for the new technology. They want us to basically be the brand champion of the metaverse, which I'm okay with doing. I believe in this. I think I am the most engaging Web3 founder in terms of my vision for what the metaverse looks like. It's not buying $5,000 land in the sandbox and paying somebody to build on top of it. It's allowing you to own your characters, own your weapons, own your progress, and be interoperable between different games. Warzone 1 to Warzone 2. You're getting rid of all your purchased cosmetics. Now you have to buy everything again. So all that money disappeared. Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, you have to buy everything again. Diablo, you have to pay to play. I hate pay to play. This is pay if you want to participate as a quote unquote shareholder of the company without actually owning any shares.
Anything.
But it feels like you are, right? That's the vibe we want to give to the weapon NFT holders. We want them to have a major voice. In terms of token holders, we want them to have the say in terms of governance on how we structure the game. Where should we take the next map? New weapons, earning format structure. That's where I think we have to offer more governance, and you will see it for the full game. Right now, there's nothing to govern. Right now, we're just building the game with our Wagyu developers in Keveru. So we're not going to take a vote that's like, hey, are we going to hire another developer? Yes or no? Like, that's never going to happen.
That doesn't make sense.
Hey, are we going to fire this person? Like, no. It's like we could put up a governance vote to see if we fire Kyle Gordon, our director of business development. It's just like stupid stuff like that. We want
but we could actually do something like, should Grant jump into the lake? I would
yes, I should. I mean, if we get to 10,000 players, I'm going in. I'll get a camera crew, a low-cost camera crew, which will probably be like an ex-girlfriend or something filming me jumping in the lake. So I think we can get there. And look, we've had 3 weeks of runway. It's been on our site for 3 weeks. We're going to push some more marketing materials out. We got a couple emails going out as well. We've been doing very well on TikTok, getting a lot of views, and just continue pushing the content. We want to expand into Reddit. We want to go into Facebook more. And we have to find these gamers. We have to find people that want to play. That's where IMX is going to help us. Us being at NFT London, there's going to be 10,000 people there. So 10,000 people are going to get exposed to our branding and have an opportunity to play our game. It's just more people we could bring in the ecosystem too. So in-person events as well. We have an in-person event in Nashville here in the United States. I believe that's the weekend of the 19th. We're going to be partnering with some other groups to participate in a free-to-play event, which is just bringing in more casual people that know nothing about NFTs, but saw there was an event happening and it's a video game event, and they're going to come and show up and support.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time, just event by event and AMA by AMA. Your community is increasing, and more people every day know about Undead Blocks, the free tournaments, your tokenomics, the plan for the Undead Blocks metaverse, and everything else. By the way, you mentioned the battle pass. Do you want to comment on that, Grant? How is that going to work? How is the interaction between the battle pass and Undead going to work exactly?
Well, from our perspective, the Battle Pass is going to give you access to unique challenges. You could unlock weapon skins that you get to keep as NFTs. You could even unlock special characters. And you have to physically complete challenges on the Battle Pass. And you can only acquire the Battle Pass on Undead token. So that's really the goal is, again, we get to, let's be conservative, 50,000 daily active players, and they all buy a Battle Pass. Look at the buy pressure on the token, right? It's something that and if you want to sell your battle pass, you have the opportunity to sell your battle pass because you unlocked XYZ ABC on it. Now, if we would launch another battle pass for season 2, that might have a brand new set of skins to collect and maybe a legendary character at the end if you complete the entire thing, and then you could sell that. So we want to basically create assets that give the token utility but allow you to transfer what you've earned. I think that's going to be really unique to our ecosystem. Not a lot of games are taking that approach, and the key is give people a reason to buy the Undead token. Make it a no-brainer. There are going to be thousands of tokens that people are going to be speculating on in the next decade, but we have to give our token clear utility so that if you're a fan of our ecosystem, it makes sense to buy an Undead instead of fiat. That's the healthiest way we can run a dual token economy, where we have the gold Z-Bucks as a stable currency that we hand out as a form of cash. But it's something that is treasury backed and stabilized. It's something that will not fluctuate in value. If we generate revenue, which I believe we can, and we have been doing, this $15,000 tournament by IMX, fully sponsored, doesn't cost us a dime to do so. Just a developer resources to put their assets in. And now people can earn. We need to do more of that. And I think other games are taking our approach, mimicking our model, and it's good to see.
Yeah, I think that Block slowly is creating a new generation of Web3 games, right?
I would agree with that. I hope that our community agrees.
I mean, you mentioned Eve.io and other games. They're doing the same model with the tournaments and everything. And yeah, I think it's already beginning. Undead Blocks creating a whole new generation of Web3 games. So you actually mentioned that Undead Blocks is going to be more than just one game. Are the other games already under development, or is that an idea for now?
In terms of development, it's not something that we're branding as a new game. What I will tell you is this. Everything that we've built in Undead Blocks will be transferable to our sequel, which will be a counter-op sort of approach where you can shoot each other, and hell, the zombies might even attack you as well. So I would say 50% of the work for the sequel has already been done just based off of the engine that we've built within Unity for this game. It's just developing more maps, more character skins, more weapons, and then adding in the ability to shoot each other. So to answer your question, it's not something that we're saying, hey, our sequel's coming out, but when we do announce a sequel, it will be fairly soon after we announce it. It's not something that we have to start from scratch. We'll be able to take what we've built and just iterate on it and create pretty much a new game from Undead Blocks, the skeleton that we've put in. There's a good Halloween reference for you.
Okay, that's great. I think that's becoming a trend. I mean, I saw Soul Cheeks, some MMORPG that's been under development for such a long time on Solana. And they're doing the same. Their token just became an ecosystem token. And I think this is kind of becoming a trend. It's a way to lower risk. So if you have like a token that is linked to like multiple games, even if one of those games fail, the token is going to hold its price, not going to go to zero. So I think it's kind of a way of having a token, an asset with a lower risk and more utility.
Well, that's exactly right. If Undead Blocks goes offline, what happens to your NFTs? What happens to the token? They both go to zero. Now, if we have a Wagyu token, we say, okay, we're shifting, we're turning off Undead Blocks, but you can use everything that you've acquired in, let's call it block ops for just sake of discussion. Nothing changes. You know, and we can, our goal is to have one client that has all of our games. So if you just download the Wagyu client, you can play Undead Blocks or Block Ops or some other games that we make. It's not, we don't just want to stop at one game. So many people come to us and say, I want to buy the Undead token. Does that mean I have access to all your other games? And the answer should be, hell yes, it does. You know, we're not going to launch a token for every game. We're basically taking the Gal Games approach. And you're right, you are seeing more groups shift to the ecosystem model because it makes sense. This is a copycat sort of industry where people copy each other. They've been copying our model for tournaments. We're going to copy the Gal Games approach of we want to be a studio token. Now, where we're different is we're not offering master nodes. We're not offering the ability, we're not creating our own blockchain right now. Something we're open to, but it's not something that is a necessity for us. We are focusing more on the games than the blockchain itself, but it does leave us open to potentially launching our own blockchain. So there's a lot we can do with it, but I think the dual token economy works if you have a studio approach where you can bring in players that don't want to just play a zombie game. Maybe they want to just play a regular 6v6 shooter, or they want to play, you know, a Western style shooter. And it's going to allow us to really expand our palette and bring in more people.
Okay, that's great. I think it makes sense that there's a bit of copying around the system. I think it happens the same for content creators. Like many times, I think everyone does is like, you want to create a new video, so maybe you go check what other content creators are doing to get some ideas. I think that happens a lot. You know, if there's like a recipe for success, why wouldn't you use it, right? So we have here some community questions right now. So we have here Marv Angler, welcome to the stream, man. So he's actually asking, what's the benefit of bridging NFTs on Immutable? So are the NFTs of Undead Blocks already listed on Immutable X?
They are not yet, but we should have that information for you guys shortly. We're still working on the finalities of the bridge. We've been doing some testing. The benefits to shifting over to IMX is it's carbon neutral. You can list your, if you want to sell your NFT, you'll have access to all of the partner exchanges with Immutable X. We're already going to be on GameStop.
Yeah. Immutable Marketplace.
We're most likely going to be on Rarible. The Immutable Marketplace as well. So it just gives you more eyeballs. And you can also shift it back to pure ETH at any time. That's really the big one. And then two is you can move it around gasless. So if you download an IMX wallet, you have it sitting there, and let's say, you know, you want to send it to somebody and you don't want to pay gas, or you're doing like an offline transaction, you can just send it to them. It's gasless. You don't have to pay that gas fee. I think everyone hates gas fees, myself included. So those are really two big selling points.
Okay, that's great. I think that was really wise, the partnership with Immutable X for sure. Then we have another question from Lemel. Will there be a manager-friendly dashboard for managers who wants to enter the game?
Yes. So in terms of managers, I'm assuming that they mean like a
Renting
guild manager.
Weapons, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, there will be a full dashboard in terms of being able to lend your assets. It's something that we've promised to holders and we're going to offer to them, where you can lend your weapon out and someone can play on your behalf, and they can earn those gold Z-Bucks and you guys will earn a split. So in terms of what that dashboard looks like, expect more details to follow. But we've been mocking up some different concepts. We've been looking at other games that have a weapon lending dashboard, and we're still working to put that in, but it's something that is a necessity for us. So expect in terms of what the features are going to look like, definitely going to have what's the split in terms of the revenue and what's the length of time. And there's going to be a feedback system where if you had a good experience, you thumbs up or thumbs down. Did you enjoy, your experience with this person? So those are definitely three features that are going to be in there. But if you guys have any more ideas, feel free to send them our way.
Yeah, I think the only idea I have is please Grant to do something like X Infinity. I was a manager back in the day where X Infinity was profitable and I had like 50 wallets, something like that. It was a mess every month. I would spend like 3 hours paying SLP to every scholar, and please just don't do it like them.
Yeah,
That's the only idea I have for you, Grant.
I love it.
Is there a weapon rental feature going to be available on the full game release in December?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's exciting. So you have now a question from Ori Smartphone. The weapon you are using right now are named HKFPS weapons. They are on Unity Asset Store for $40, and so other games are using it too. Are you going to create new weapons and skins on the released game?
So in terms of the released game, no. Look, it doesn't matter what MP5 or F1 you're using, right? I think Call of Duty's been using their same AK-47 for a decade. In terms of us making our own weapons, yes, that's something we want to do, where they are unique and they're not just Unity assets, but we're building this game in Unity. Like, we have to, if we were going to build out our each individual weapon and parameterize it, that's how games take 2 to 3 years. So we are basically taking that shortcut for the weapons in terms of the zombies themselves. Like, the zombies that you see right now are also Unity assets, but they won't be in the full game. Maybe we keep the spear guy because people love the spear guy, but we have our own zombies that we've created from scratch, and it took us almost a year to do so. Like, the development and animation time for some of this stuff is ridiculous.
Really?
So we don't, we don't need another AK-47. We don't need our own MP5. I don't think that's what's going to bring in gamers to be like, wow, I can't wait to use, Wagyu's MP5 instead of the Unity MP5. It's more about the map style and the zombie style and the gameplay loop for us than just the weapons. But we do want to create our own weapons that have never been put into video games before, and it is going to take some time. Like, that's from our perspective a long-term play, but we want to do that. Like, for example, what if we did the flaming hot Cheeto flamethrower that shot Cheetos out and we got sponsored by Pepsi? Or, we did stuff like that where for Halloween next year we did grenades where we're throwing pumpkins that explode as grenades. So we have the ideas. It's just in terms of development time, we want to get this game out so people can earn money. That's really the key, is we want the game to explode so people can earn, whether that's owning their stuff through loot coffins, grinding for those in free to play, or playing in the weapon NFT daily earning holder mode. And then we'll just continue to expand from there. But in terms of the weapons, we're comfortable with what the weapons look like.
Yeah, what about the ray gun? When are we going to be able to use
the wave gun? Oh my.
Wave gun, yeah.
Well, we can't even say wave gun, actually. We were informed that Call of Duty also has used a wave gun. So we're actually renaming it to something else. But I don't know what that name is because we're still, talking back and forth. But you'll see the footage. We've played with it. It's hilarious weapon to use. It's a blast. So yeah, it's coming. Maybe we tease some of that footage within a week or so. But we have it, and you guys are going to start seeing crossbow footage, M1A1 footage, RPG footage, grenade footage.
Baby, let's
so
go.
It's all coming together. It just takes time, and we're doing things as fast as we can, and we are on schedule, which is great. If we have to push back a couple weeks into January, it's something we're prepared to do, but we don't want to. We want to push this out by Christmas time so you guys can play for a good Christmas special. But that's what we're working for. We put the multiplayer in, we put the wave-based survival in, we put the weapon lending in, and we're ready to go.
And you're ready to go, guys. If you didn't, give it a check on Undead Blocks. All links in the description. Super bullish on this game, Grant. So Grant, now a personal question. When it comes to NFT games, I mean, obviously you're super bullish on your game. It would be a red flag if you weren't. But which other games are you bullish on? Which other games you think are doing a good job and have good chances of success in the NFT gaming space? Give me like a top 5.
I think My Pet Hooligan is really unique. It's like a GTA with bunnies.
Oh, I think I saw some footage.
I would definitely give that a try. I think they're going through a mint this week too as well. Shrapnel looks really good from their trailer. It remains to be seen what it looks like for their full game, but their trailer looked really cool. And that's an FPS game. We're pretty close friends with them. I'm going to pass on Blankos for now. I've seen a lot of people with community feedback that Blankos isn't fun, and they're starting to sell assets that you actually can't buy, sell, or trade. Or you can buy them, but you can't sell or trade them. They say it's an unsellable asset. Yeah, Bryson, the content creator, told us that he basically spent $1,000 in Blankos on skins that they won't let him sell. So not so much on that one.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe Planet Mojo. You guys need a partnership with
Planet Mojo is interesting. I'm not the biggest auto battler guy, but Planet Mojo, I love working with Mike Levine, the CEO of Planet Mojo.
Yeah, we've had him here on the Crypto Herd.
Yeah, he's a beast. I love Mike.
He's a beast.
And if you're into auto battlers, like that's just not my game. Like Illuvium is not my thing. But I can see why people really enjoy it. I guess I'd say Illuvium. I'm not bullish on Star Atlas. I don't think a game that takes 5 to 7 years is going to keep their community. Like people will graduate college and go to school and get a full-time job before they can play the game. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's like Star Citizen. I mean, it has been ages, and
it's insane.
What we have, is it even playable right now?
No, it's not.
It's not. Fuck.
Midnight Society is going to be a good one. That's by Dr. Disrespect, his group, but I don't think they're going to launch a token. They're just going to sell NFTs.
Okay. Midnight Society.
There's one more really good one that I've seen. It's called Superior by Gala Games.
Oh, I've played it.
Yeah, that one looks really fun. It looks unique.
Yes,
so that'd probably be my top 5.
Top 5. So you mentioned auto battlers. I know you're not much of an auto battler guy, but you mentioned Illuvium and Planet Mojo. Which one do you think is the best auto battler?
Planet Mojo.
Planet Mojo. Why?
I think it looks better. I think that it's cleaner, and I trust Mike's vision more than anything. You know, Mike and his team, they haven't launched a token yet, so they're not.
That's true.
They're not really influenced by the price of a token to make decisions. And
that's true.
So I would pick Planet Mojo. You could tell Mike I said that too.
Yeah, me too. I think I also prefer Planet Mojo. I think it's a bit more simple. It's easy to get on board because Illuvium, it's good, but it's a bit overwhelming. Like all the things you have to think about, and every Illuvial has like classes, and there's like a bunch of stuff that you need to understand before actually being effective in this game. And I think it's gonna be hard to onboard new players.
Making things too complex in this industry is a big turnoff. Like at any point when someone gets confused, they're just gonna say, fuck it. Like I'm not gonna deal with it. You have to make it as simple as possible. That's why we're going no barrier to entry to play, no barrier to entry to earn the loot coffins. So people are incentivized to play the game, and then we get them hooked on the ecosystem. You don't test drive a car. You don't buy a car without test driving it. You don't go rent an apartment without viewing it. Like this is where we need people to understand it's like a cost of marketing at some point. Instead of just running YouTube ads and paying an influencer to play the game, why not let people get hooked on it themselves? So many people have come into our ecosystem and they play the free-to-play tournaments and they say, I cannot wait to grind this game when the full game goes live. And that's what we want to see. We need to 20x the amount of people that are saying that. So
I think you're going to achieve it. I'm quite confident you're going to achieve it. So KG has here a question. When will we see the new zombies? Policeman, football zombie? Are these zombies going to be available on the full game release?
They will be. It's something that we'll probably release footage in the next couple weeks of them as well. We've been playing with them and just optimizing the animations and sometimes speeding up their attacks. So we're getting close to be able to display that footage as well. It's gonna be like a barrage of footage. You're gonna see Crossbow, M1A1, the new zombies, multiplayer, Eva running around with Mask running around with Lucas. Like all this stuff is just gonna start appearing in the next month, and you're gonna be like, I see. So it's just taking some fine tuning and some refinement on our side, but yeah, you'll see them within the next couple weeks or so.
So I think December is going to be a great month for NFT gaming. I mean, with this full game release, I mean, you guys are going to have the weapon loadout, multiplayer, all these new assets. It's going to be great. It's going to be... I'm bullish. So Grant, give me like the top 5 gaming ecosystems that for you have a good chance of succeeding. So obviously...
Our ecosystem is number one.
Number one, obviously.
I mean, nobody else is thinking about issuing stable rewards. From from having a token. Nobody's thinking about it. I don't know why. Everything else feels like Ponzi-nomics to me. The only thing Ponzi about our model is we have to get players in the door. We don't need their money. We just need people to play. That's why we push people to download the beta. Because if they download the beta, then they make the choice if they want to buy an asset or not. We can create these assets for basically high margin events, running these loot coffins approach. What we want to do. In terms of other gaming ecosystems that I like, I don't like EV.io system. I don't like the gambling portion of it. Like, if you get a kill, you get $1. If you lose, nobody wants to come. Because when people physically lose money, they leave. They say, I'm done. You got to make it so they earn nothing or they earn money. You can't make people lose. I can see how they try to run a zero-sum game with their ecosystem and saying, okay, like, if you kill XYZ, you get paid.
Yeah, you got to make it like a win-win for players.
There's not many tokens out there, Bruno. Not many trading tokens. How many trading tokens are out there really for games? Miles of Delarnia kind of made some noise for a little bit.
I'm not that bullish on Mines of Delarnia. I've tried it and it was such a pain in the ass to just get logged in the game. Actually, you need like to have MetaMask on your smartphone, and with the MetaMask you sign in on your phone and then you log into the game. Look, it's a mess. It's not really easy to get started playing it. I like the concept. I like the idea, but the login system is horrible. Or at least it was back when I tried it.
The thing is, Bruno, is everybody's gone to play to own. So there is no earning. Like, I can't even actually give you a review of other earning mechanisms because everybody has moved away from play to earn because they're just so scared of what happened to Axie. They're just petrified of it. They're going free to own, play to own, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And like, we're going to have that model with grind for loot coffins, but we can make 6,000 people very happy every day. If we can't, then that means that our game isn't fun. But our game is fun. Everyone that plays our game says it's a blast. So it's really even hard for me to give you a review because there are hardly any ecosystems now where you can earn anything for playing a game. I mean, you're the expert, so you're going to have to give me a couple examples.
So personally, I'm bullish on, I think Gala. Gala is doing great. They have the Walking Dead series being developed right now, and I think it's looking good. I think, they have a bunch of games. They have Spider Tank is also nice, and they have this farming game that already has a large community. And all these games have like the token, they somehow interact with the token Gala. So I'm quite bullish on Gala. Another gaming ecosystem is Immutable X. Obviously, there's the IMX token. Then I also like Miria. I kind of like the way where they're heading. Not much is known so far. I mean, we know the team. They've been doing some AMAs. But let's see, I think it's heading in the right direction somehow. They already have like a marketplace with some NFTs. They're launching their farming game. I still didn't see it, but definitely Miria is under my radar right now. And that's it. That's it. When it comes to gaming ecosystems, I think that's it for now. So
I would agree with you. I think Gala's going to do well. But I think people are getting upset with just continuing to buy NFTs from them. Like, nobody wants to buy a planetary node for $5,000 right now. For spider tanks. Like, I get it. I think that they're going to do well, though. They were the first mover, and I think first movers, any industry, have a lot of leeway. So obviously, we love Immutable X. Polygon is another player too, but IMX really gave us that white glove service, and we really enjoy working with them.
Yeah, but I think Gala, they have their NFTs, they're selling these NFTs, but all the games are free to play. So I think if you want to invest and have like a land in the Undead Blocks, in the Walking Dead world, then you have to invest. You have to buy an expensive NFT. But if you just want to play it and maybe earn it, I didn't look much into their tokenomics or wherever. You can also do it. So I think if you have expensive NFTs, it's not that much of a big deal if people can play for free. It's a big deal if people need the NFT to interact with the game.
Yeah,
that's what I
agree
think.
with that.
Okay, so last question, Grant. Are we going to have Grant Haseley Survivor in Undead Blocks?
We want to. We want to put in more. We want to do more characters. That basically for every season of Undead Blocks, we'll introduce new characters, and then if you want to play as a character, you're going to have to try to get that coffin. You're going to have to try to get them. So, yeah, I would anticipate me at some point getting in the game. Who knows? At some point, we'll put Bruno in the game. Maybe if there's enough people that want Bruno.
That would be great. That would be great. I would love to play
with the
as
McDonald's
myself.
outfit. Yes.
With the McDonald's outfit, that's for sure. I would love to play as myself. So
we want to offer at some point, if you get like a Willy Wonka NFT, maybe you get a 2-hour recording session in our studio, and we'll make a character of yourself in the game. That would be something to chase after and loot coffins, right? Maybe offer one, like person that could potentially be character in a game. Like that's something where I think people would want that firsthand experience of putting themselves in a video game that's never been done before. So I think that could be a unique selling point for us down the road.
Damn, I think that's a great idea, honestly. Who wouldn't love to have their own character in a video game? I think that's a great idea. So we have here a question from the Undead Shed. Will the current Undead Block NFTs allow access to future games
Yes.
in the Undead Blocks? Yeah. So you're going to be able to play with the weapon loadouts in other games in the future?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So, Grant, I'm out of questions. I really don't have any more questions. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
Oh, this has been a good one. We've been on for over an hour. I think it's a record for me and you. I definitely, I want to close things up by letting you guys know, please play in our tournament this weekend. It is free to play and earn. We're giving away $15,000, sponsored by Immutable X. Have a happy Halloween. It's my birthday on Monday, so celebrate for me. Go get some candy. Go to a fun Halloween party. Play our game, and thanks for having me, Bruno.
It was a pleasure, Grant. You're always welcome on the Crypto Herd. I always love to have you on board here. So guys, make sure you check Undead Blocks links right in the description. Play their tournament this weekend. Also subscribe for the Crypto Herd for more NFT gaming content. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the metaverse. Okay, and we're